What is the difference between an art director and creative director? And which one do you want to be? Hi, I'm Paige Ray. I am a commercial photographer and videographer here in Los Angeles. And today I want to talk to you about creative roles, specifically very creative roles on set, the art director and the creative director. I'm going to break down for you what they do on in-house projects versus also freelance projects, because those roles, while they're the same whether you're in-house or you're freelancing, they do take on a different structure across campaigns depending on what you're doing. All right, first of all, let's talk about the creative director. The creative director oversees the entire creative vision and strategy. If a creative director is in-house, they're looking at the creative vision, not just for one project or campaign, but across the board for all projects and all campaigns across all channels. The creative director also manages multiple teams and departments. They are responsible for brand consistency across all channels. If they're hired for a freelance project, then they're focused on that one campaign, but they do want to make sure that everything fits seamlessly into the brand's overall vision, whether they're freelance or in-house. The creative director really is at the top of the pyramid as far as creative projects go, but they are reporting directly to their own executives. At the end of the day, they are focused on big picture goals and overall business objectives. Now, this is different from an art director. What is an art director? An art director focuses specifically on visual elements and the execution of those elements. So the creative director is basically holding the aesthetic vision for the entire project and then handing those aesthetics to the art director to start execution. Do you need a set builder? Do you need a prop guy? Do you need a photographer? Do you need a videographer? What do you need in order to execute a project so that you can create the deliverables? Like, who's going to take that vision and turn it into something you have in your hand, whether it's photo or video, whatever that looks like. So the art director is managing the artists and creatives and designers directly. Any vendor that you're bringing onto a shoot to make the shoot or make the project, you're going to be reporting to an art director, and your art director is reporting to the creative director. That is on kind of a normal size project. Some smaller projects might sacrifice different roles, and maybe you're a photographer reporting directly to a creative director. It just depends on what you're working on. The art director is responsible for the aesthetic quality of the projects. They also work closely with copywriters, social media managers, anybody who's going to take those final deliverables and execute them on some kind of platform, whatever that looks like. And of course, they handle day-to-day creative decisions, and then they'll take all of those creative decisions up to their creative director for review and approval. But the creative director has so much going on with the overall scope of not just the project, but how that project fits into other goals and overall business decisions, that they can't be responsible for all of the tiny stuff that's happening on set. Do I want a blue block here to hold up this red object, or do I want a slightly violet block to hold up this red object? The creative director does not need to be called in for that. You will be talking to the art director for those decisions. So here are the key differences between a creative director and an art director. Think of it this way. A creative director is like a producer or director on a movie set who's responsible for all of the major decisions and overseeing the complete direction of the overall project, making sure that everybody on set is getting done what they need to get done so the project gets finished on time. Whereas an art director is closer to like a cinematographer, focusing on the visual aspects and actually building those visual aspects and bringing in a team to build out those visual aspects. In terms of scope of work, creative directors work across multiple channels and platforms. If you're in-house. If you are a freelance creative director, you might be working on just one project, but you will be working with a team at that brand to make sure the project you're working on fits seamlessly with their overall objectives across those channels and across those platforms. So you're not shut out from it, but you're just not overseeing it in-house. You're working on a one-off project freelance. Whereas art directors require deep technical design and expertise, while art directors typically focus on specific projects or campaigns. If you're an art director and you're in-house, you're going to be focusing, instead of on everything across different platforms and channels, you're going to be focusing on specific campaigns and specific designs. Versus if you're freelance, you're going to be focusing on the specific artistic concepts within the project. Do you need a specific backdrop? Is there a vibe that you're trying to pull off? Who are you going to hire to do that? In terms of additional skills, creative directors need project management skills, team building skills, executive leadership skills, because that role can feel a lot more corporate and managerial than, say, an art director who's really in the artistic vision of it all. Art directors require deep technical and design expertise. And if that's your jam, then you might want to stay an art director. Though typically what happens is if you want to be on a creative director career path, you would start as an art director. Well, you probably wouldn't start as an art director, but you would work your way into being an art director. And then from art director, you would work your way into being a creative director. But that's usually a stop along the way. Though if you don't want to be a creative director, if you don't want to be managing these projects and you want to actually be doing the art of it all, you might want to stay an art director. That's a fantastic role. Both roles are critical in our creative industries either way. They simply serve different purposes. Choose your path based on whether you prefer hands-on artistic expertise and vision or high-level strategic direction. Up to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along for more information about how to get on camera, how to work in these industries, how to feel good, how to feel confident, and how to feel magnetic in front of the camera. I believe that when you know what's going on behind the camera, you're better at being in front of the camera, which is why I make these videos. So follow, like, subscribe to learn more. Thanks for being here.